I still remember exactly when I first observed myself thinking. I was a student in elementary school and had just discovered daydreaming. When I was about to go into the battle against my self-created inner dragon and was awakened with cheerful laughter from my classmates, the evil face I made must have looked very funny. Have you ever wondered where exactly those wonderful ideas come from that changed our world for the better? How does today's science explain the origin of thoughts? Neuroscientists are medicals and psychologists who study the brain. Their belief is thoughts originate in networks of nerve cells. The activity of these networks can be measured. This is, for example, done with functional MRI. This technique relies on the fact that cerebral blood flow and neuronal activation are coupled. When an area of the brain is in use, blood flow to that region also increases. Using this method, it has been shown that cab drivers in London have an enlarged hippocampus and concluded that this brain region is responsible for orientation and memory. Neuroscientists have already been able to help many people with their findings, but they can also develop scary things. There is an area called optogenetics. In this field, light and injected genetic material are used to influence the brain. Optogenetic developed a device that made it possible to control in which direction a laboratory rat moves. And last but not least, there is a long list of psychopharmaceuticals that can influence thinking. Modern science admits that they haven't yet researched how exactly thoughts arise and how remembering works. Despite this, many scientists draw the unproven conclusion from the findings of neuroscience: thoughts must originate in nerve cells. After the brain is dead, there are no more thoughts. There is no life without the brain. Countries around the world define death as the irreversible loss of all functions of the brain. Nevertheless, it is a question of faith of each individual to find the right answer to the question how and where our thoughts originate. In science, this is called an axiom. An axiom is a statement which is not provable. Nobody can prove that thoughts originates in nerve cells, just like nobody can prove that they do not originate there. Let's ask a few questions. Do you believe that geniuses like Einstein, Da Vinci or Plato drew their world-changing ideas only from a 1.5 kilogram gelatinous wrinkled mass of water, protein and fat? Does it sound credible to you that human thoughts originate in nerve cells and thoughts are just a product of the brain interacting with its environment and itself? Many people have completely lost touch with spiritual teachings. Words from spiritual teachers around the world have been misused and misinterpreted to control and oppress people with religions. Buddha said, "Everything we are arises from our thoughts. With our thoughts we are creating the world." Important spiritual teaching from all over the world told us there is a real world of thoughts that exists invisibly next to the material world. Only our physical body dies. What lives on is you. You live on with all your thoughts and all your feelings. The Austrian scientist and philosopher Rudolf Steiner, the founder of Waldorf education system, said, "The human being is built according to the thoughts of the universe. The universe is the great thinker that engraves our form into us in the same way that our thoughts make the small engravings into the brain during everyday life. As our brain is under the influence of thoughts, so the whole human being is under the influence of cosmic thinking. Thoughts are the cause of everything that exists in matter. Thoughts are reflections of a transcendent. The reflection machine is the brain which shadow images the living thoughts in our consciousness. Is there an invisible world of thoughts? So is the brain only our hardware which makes the virtual world of thoughts visible? Do thoughts exist completely independently and influence our material world? Let's conclude with a quote from Nobel Prize winner Albert Einstein, who said, "I want to know God's mind, the rest is secondary."